You can
Okay,
start.
sir. Hello everyone and good afternoon to all. Today's my topic of presentation is class conflict in Aravind Adiga's novel The White Tiger. As we all know that Aravind Adiga is a winner of Man Booker Prize in 2008. The novel has received Man Booker Prize in 2008, and Aravind Adiga has put the anxiety of a modern man as we are studying new literature, the paper of new literature and these are the books written in 21st century. So these are so there are a lot many literatures who are covering which are covering the nuances of the anxiety of a modern man and how far modern man is able to stand in front of all these conflicting environment. So let us begin our presentation with the topic of class conflict with reference to the novel. My today's outline of the presentation is where do the class and caste stand in India? We will go through those things. And how far modern man is able to stand in front of all this conflicting environment. So let us begin our presentation with the topic of. Hello, am I audible?
Yes,
Yes,
Rohit.
you're
Okay,
audible.
I think some echo sound was coming. Okay, so where do the class and caste stand in India? We will go for that particular example from movies also, and then we will see how Karl Marx and Marxism believes and how far this classism is said and thought in the topic of uh, uh, classism also, and then we will go through some of the textual evidences like a character of Munna. Uh, Urfe Balram, and then we will see how classism works, how class conflict works in the Bangalore culture. That there are a lot many Indias within the India. We will also see, and then economical differences within India, and then how far we are able to tackle this entire conflict with our own perceptions, with reference to the play No Exit. There is one textual evidence I have taken. So this will be the outline, and my core objective of this particular presentation is to question the not only class conflict but class consciousness also. The actual problem basically lies in that we are able to classify or compare this particular class demarcation. That particular thing. It seems that much that is to be a question through this novel. So let us go forward. Indian caste and class system. If you want to talk about from taken from the examples from movies like Article 15, much majorly talks about caste system. We have both systems in India, caste and class system. As per this third world countries are concerned, and especially in India, there are majority conflicts are caste based and class based also. We come to class conflicts, especially in terms of metropolitan areas of the country. But as far as rural areas and countryside areas are concerned, such as small villages and towns, majorly caste conflicts are generally visible. So from this particular film examples, we can see that Article 15 talks about the dialogue "Kaun Jaat Ho." That is that particular question that upsurge in the film. And then another film is we can see from the poster that the female protagonist is sitting in car and the male protagonist is riding a bicycle. So how far in metropolitan cities are this class conflicts hover over the mindset of the people? That is to be seen here. And now the theory of Karl Marx, and then how far he talks about classism. According to one research article and journal, Marxism believes that the class division in the society is man-made and it is used as a tool to oppress the people who are in the lower section of the society. So as we can see beside this quote, I also put one poster that lowest of the lowest strata of people are having much load over their shoulders of in terms of responsibility, and then coming up and then coming upwards the strata, there are some bourgeois class, and then elite class, and then masters, and lot many other high society people are there. So how far they are in this poster we can see that how this pyramid of capitalist system works in the given context or the country. Then, in terms of novel, we come to know that aspiration and angst are seen in the character of Balram. And then English language, if you want to take for consideration, that English language is seen as a class-defining object in the novel. In the very first pages of the novel, Adiga says that neither you nor I speak English, addressing to Mr. Premier, but there are some things that can be said only in English. So this particular line also demarks about how far English language is considered as a high class language, and to be spoken only from the elite class, or say any particular highest strata of the people. And everyday life of the poor and deprived and underprivileged is seen from the lens of elite class only. So here the point of narration comes forward, that how far we are able to look empathetically towards the problems of poor and downtrodden people. Uh, by sitting in the glass office and AC chambers, how far we are able to empathize and sympathize with those people who are out in open, and you know struggling to make both ends meet. So that is particular question of narration that arises here. And then much reliance is put on the other's narration in the novel, that how far uh, through the lens of Balram, we if we try to see uh, the condition of India, that is justifiable. And then but in front of all these things, we have to come towards the narration of Adiga also, that Adiga also tries to give voice to the voiceless. And then through that particular perspective, Balram is given a voice to the downtrodden and suppressed class also. Then, as Balram's father speaks his heart in the novel, that my whole life I have been treated like a donkey. All I want is that one son of mine, at least one, should live like a man. So the entire succession and the generations of this downtrodden class people is striving for towards heading towards the highest class of society, and they always dream to get bigger and bigger. So this particular anxiety is taken out from the novel. And then, if we yearn towards the management, government, market giants, or any upper monetary institutions, need a yes man kind of a person. So we call it G Hazuri. So that particular thing is expected from the lower class of the people by those management and government and all other monetization institution also. But Balram's angst is indirectly highlighted whenever he speaks the word yes sir in replies to his master, either to Ashok or to others. Whenever he speaks yes sir, his subjugation and and the slave mentality comes forward. But on the other hand, on the undercurrent, if we want to read that this particular angst is also there whenever he speaks yes sir in the novel. This anxiety of coming upwards towards the society is very much deliberately highlighted by Adiga in the novel. And then the question arises that can we remove this particular hierarchy or class structure from the society? That particular question leads us to find the answer that on by and large, if we want to see that how far hierarchy and class structures are there in each and every day of our life, then the answer we get is no. But we can stay away as far as the novel is concerned, and the way Balram is giving a way towards, and the way Balram is striving ahead towards the upper class. That is to be seen as some sort of not to be taken as the particular and legible road to go forward. And then Munna alias Balram, that as a chief character, Balram Halwai gets enlightened by his social condition and makes his way out of the rooster coop. We all know that his rooster coop is very much limited, and he is particularly located uh, uh, in a particular village. And then from that particular village, he wants to Dhanbad, and then he goes to Bangalore also. So he takes the very crooked way to get through it. And then Balram also observes the class differences around him. Whenever he is in a Dhanbad village, as he observes as a bus conductor also. Through the example of bus conductor, he says that I wanted to be like Vijay, with a uniform, a paycheck, a shiny whistle with a piercing sound, and people looking at me with eyes that said how important he looks. So this particular anxiety and ambition of Balram gets towards his success, but his way is a little bit different from people. Then there is one idea of Bangalore culture. In first world countries, we by and large look those countries look at Indian market with capitalist viewpoint, and then there are lot many models of business is followed in this particular capital market, and one of them is B P and O, business processing and outsourcing. So Indian market is much of in use currently, as well as any other as well as many third world countries are used by first world countries. So this particular power conflict also is a scene between two countries and two governments also. In the novel, Bangalore is shown as a hub of outsourcing. And after meeting Ashok, Balram also want to be equal to him in terms of class also. Whenever he approaches Ashok and Pinky Madam, he thinks that he also has to come towards that way, and he also has to come to that particular class also. And then from for example from novel, if you want to see that, and these entrepreneurs, we entrepreneurs have set up all these outsourcing companies that virtually run America now. So this particular business model is followed of outsourcing in India. And then economic differences in India. In the novel, there is one paragraph like India within India and India of light and India of darkness. So that particular paragraph leads us to classify that how far economically also we are different from one another. That and from for example from the novel, remember Mr. Premier, that Delhi is the capital of not one but two countries, two Indias, the light and the darkness. Both float into Delhi. Gurgaon, where Mr. Ashok lived, is the bright, modern end of the city. And this place, Old Delhi, is the other end. So this particular word from the paragraph, if you want to take that modern end of the city and bright and modern end of the city. So that particular area-wise difference is also seen. That what particular kind of people are living in metropolitan society, like character of Mr. Ashok, and then how far Balram lives, and this place Old Delhi is the other end. So how far this conflict between two cities, not only classy, not only in terms of class, but in terms of geographical locations also is to be seen here. Uh, and then by talking about all these class conflicts and other things, I found that particular dialogue from Jean-Paul Sartre's play No Exit. Hell is the other people. Jean-Paul Sartre talks about this. And then this particular class consciousness, the topic of class consciousness is to be eradicated from the mindset of the people. That is particularly to be thought of. And then with reference to this quote, a question arises for this novel, that how far we can live this sentence in our daily life, such as Harold Pinter also tries to live that particular sentence, that uh, uh, don't let them tell you what to do. That particular sentence, Harold Pinter also in his interview said that I have lived this particular sentence my whole life. So can we eradicate the matter of class consciousness and class conflict, because class consciousness is all about comparing between two classes, and that particular comparison leads us towards the anxiety that is to be and that is very finely captured by Aravind Adiga in this novel. And then, do we really have to compare ourselves to others? That particular question also connotes with this particular topic of class conflict and class consciousness. Thank you. These are the references that I have taken from various sources. Thank you. Thank you. Have a nice day.
Okay, you can stop presenting. And questions to Rohit by Ruchi and Rupa.
Um, my question, two questions I'm facing right now is uh, Adiga gives voice to the voiceless. But many people from society says writer just writes, and it doesn't create any real change into the society. Uh, do you want to comment something on this?
Yes, as far as these literary books and other authors are concerned, that how far we are able to read that particular book or literature in a particular way, that is to be worth thought of. And then after reading that particular book or novel, how far we are able to convey our meaning with utmost simple language towards the people around us, that is to be questioned in this particular way. Then, for example, this class and caste conflict, if we take as an example, that how far we are able to bring out that particular topic and talk with people other than book also. So that is the matter of question and worth to be taken note of. So that particular thing we can bring out from literature and explain people that how far this particular book is talking about class conflict and caste conflict also.
Okay, and one more question is that how far it is justifiable that if someone follows the path of Balram Halwai to come out of that zone?
Okay, the way Balram Halwai has taken to become he has taken up the journey from lower class to upper class, so to speak. But the way he has taken the way, it is comparatively not at all morally. If you want to apply some moral concerns from the other text, so that is not to be so that is not worth taking path. And we if we want to take that example, that by erasing someone else's line we cannot stretch our own line to for our betterment and progress, for our individual development also.
Thank you, Rohit.